Hello and welcome back to another video. Today's Wednesday, so this is Waffle on a Wednesday. Well, this week it's Waffles with Rum and Raisin Ice Cream Wednesday. Well, that was this morning at the Tall Ships Creamery. Got to say, that was the nicest breakfast I've had for a long time. If ever you come to St Austell, then please do come here and visit the Tall Ship Creamery. I highly recommend it, and I'm pleased to say I didn't actually drop that ice cream. I did actually manage to consume it along with the waffle. Talking of which, let's carry on with this week's Waffle on a Wednesday. And we have some really good questions this week, mainly concerning my wood burner. So let's crack on and answer some of your questions. So the first question about my cubic mini wood stove comes from Emptiness From. Hi pal, do you need an air vent from outside somewhere near the stove for it to burn safely in the van due to oxygen displacement? Well, yes, you do absolutely need ventilation when using a wood burner in a small confined space. In fact, using a wood burner inside any space, you most definitely need some kind of ventilation. You need air coming into that space so that a wood burner can draw up the chimney and let all the smoke go out the chimney. That's how they work. They work by heating up that chimney. You can see it's got a nice colour like an exhaust, and that heat rises up the chimney, causing the flame to draw up along with all the smoke as well. The heat generated from the wood stove actually comes from the body of the wood stove itself radiating out. So a general rule of thumb, you need an opening somewhere inside the vehicle equal to, if not greater than, the diameter of your flue to allow that amount of air to move through the vehicle. And that's why these are so good inside a van, because you are generating that through air, so you're constantly getting fresh air coming into your van and also heat radiating out. So as fast as that air comes in and goes up the chimney, the wood burner will actually heat the room as well. And to be fair, this tiny little cubic mini wood stove generates so much heat, I do have to make sure I've got my roof vent open or one of my side windows, otherwise it simply gets way too hot in here. Boy am I glad I only went for the cubic mini cub, even though the downside of this wood stove is you can only put small logs in it, and for that reason you do have to feed it quite frequently and quite often. Thanks for the great question, Emptiness From, and I hope that more than answers that question for you. Now the next question concerning my cubic mini wood stove comes from one of my Australian subscribers, David Walters. G'day David, how you going? Mel, if you swap your kitchen to the other side, will your cubic be up higher on the new kitchen bench? Yes David, that's exactly what I was thinking. If I do move my kitchen to this side of the van, I'll have the bench going right across, and then my cubic mini wood stove will then sit on top of my kitchen work surface, and I think that would look absolutely amazing. The only thing that does worry me is the aforementioned, which is the draw from the flue. The flue would be considerably shorter. Whether or not it will create enough updraft from a shorter flue is a big gamble. I do need to contact Cubic Mini Wood Stove to make sure that shortening the flue won't affect the updraft too badly and that the wood stove won't draw. And if it doesn't draw, what simply happens is it will keep going out, because it needs that heat in the flue, like I said earlier, to create that updraft to gain that draw. Without the draw, the wood burner just simply won't function properly, and also I'll run the risk of a little draft coming along outside and I get backdraft back down the flue, filling my whole van up with smoke. So that is my main concern about raising the wood stove up, is the length of the flue and the lack of draw. Thanks for the great question, David. Cheers buddy. On with the next question. Hi Mel, came across your channel whilst browsing. As I want to live in a motorhome full time, how often do you have to fill your wood burner on a cold evening? Also, what is it like to clean? Do you buy the wood or do you pick it up on your walks? Many thanks, Paul. Well Paul, first of all I'd like to say I highly recommend living in a motorhome or a camper van. It is a fantastic lifestyle. Now, as far as my wood burner is concerned and how often I clean it, that really depends on what wood I burn. When I first got my wood burner, I was chucking just about any old junk I could find in there. Bits of pallet, bits of off-cut from when I built my van, and I quickly learned that that really isn't a good idea, because in fact when it came to cleaning the flue, it was absolutely choked with tar and all sorts of nasty black stuff. So the following year I decided just purely to burn wood that I've brought from supermarkets or DIY stores as such. You know, the kiln dried stuff you buy in a pre-packed package for about £5 a bag. So to answer your question on how long the wood burner lasts, one of those logs cut in half, put in here, will actually last me an unbelievable 2 hours. And if I manage to squeeze 4 pieces in now, then it will last a good 4 hours. And the plus side is, when it comes to cleaning the flue, there's very little soot in there to clean. I was really shocked and surprised how little soot had built up in my flue throughout last winter due to burning those pre-dried logs. I highly recommend those logs. I don't recommend burning offcuts or bits of pallet, so on and so forth, because that stuff is just nasty. It gives off a lot of toxic fumes and it does really clog up your flue. So if you are considering putting a wood burner in your motorhome, then I can't recommend a cubic mini wood stove enough. I'll put a link in the description of this video to where I brought this wood stove. Well, I think that just about covers all the questions about my cubic mini wood stove. So let's carry on with some more camper van related questions, and this one comes from JM. Hi Mel, quick question. We love a quick question. I have a Transit Custom. Which diesel heater would you recommend? 2, 5 or 8 kilowatt? Well JM, I'd highly recommend going no bigger than 2 kilowatt, especially a full Transit Custom. They're not a particularly large van, and 2 kilowatts will heat one of those vans with no problems at all. I myself use a 2 kilowatt diesel heater in my Mercedes Sprinter, and it heats this van and keeps it nice and toasty, no problems whatsoever. If you was to fit an 8 kilowatt heater in your van, I think you'll find you'll have all the windows and the door open just to keep it cool. So definitely 2 kilowatt heater. Now talking about diesel heaters, there's a new one out on the market and I'm so lucky to have got my hands on one, and I'll be doing a video review about that heater very soon. It's completely different from anything you've seen before. It's got Bluetooth connectivity, it's even got timers on it so you can set the time when that heater comes on in the morning, and it's all controlled by your mobile phone. So do stick around, I'm really looking forward to doing a video review on those heaters. So if you are a subscriber of mine, make sure you've got that notification bell hit, and if you're new to my channel, then do please subscribe, and also make sure you press the notification bell so you don't miss the diesel heater review video that I'll be making very soon. Like I say, I'm really looking forward to actually making that video, especially now winter is slowly creeping up on us. Please can you help? I've just put in a shower in my van conversion, but do I need to put in a waste tank or can it go to ground as we use bio products? This includes in our sink. For caravan sites while camping, I look forward to your waffle on a Wednesday, Mel. Keep it up fella, thanks Alan. Well Alan, this is a pretty controversial subject. A lot of people are of the opinion that you should absolutely have a grey water tank fitted to your van, whereas a lot of other people say no, it's perfectly fine to let your water go to ground. Me personally, I think you should have both options. In my van I have a grey water tank. I've also got the ability to switch it so that my sink water does actually go straight to ground, depending on where I'm parked. If I'm parked in a sensitive area, then I switch to use my grey water tank. If I'm parked in not such a sensitive area, then I simply let the water go to ground. Now in case you're wondering what detergent I use this Eco-Ver. It is made with plant-based materials. Also the bottle is made from 100% recycled plastic, and as you know, I don't actually have a shower in my van. All I've got is my sink. Now I know a lot of you have probably got opinions on this, and I invite you to leave your comments in the comments section of this video. Do you think it's okay to let your dirty water run straight out the bottom of your van, or do you think it is 100% necessary to have a grey water tank? Or are you happy like me to have the best of both worlds, have a grey water tank and also have the ability to let the water run straight out of the sink onto the ground? Let me know what you think. I'll be really interested in your thoughts and your opinions on this matter. I see a lot of different opinions on crossed Facebook and other social media platforms, so please do let me know what you think using the comments section of this video. I'll be really interested to know. Now talking about Facebook, I mentioned a little while ago a group of people on Facebook that are interested in CB radios in camper vans, and I've had a few people ask me what the name of that Facebook group is. And Colin Albert asked exactly that question. Hi Mel, nothing to do with a pump. Couldn't find the link to the vanlife CB page on Facebook. Any chance you could post it? Cheers, Colin. Well, the name of that Facebook group is Channel 24 Vanlife CB Radio. I'll make sure I put a link to that Facebook group in the description of this video, purely for your convenience. Thanks for the great question. I do hope that helps you out. Now, my last video was all about my treasure hunting antics. I'd like to read out a couple of questions from that video, and the first one comes from Stephen Pozell. Do you find any horseshoes, as we used to find lots when we were working the land on farms here in Yorkshire? Well, Stephen, no, I don't find horseshoes because my metal detector has iron discrimination. So when my metal detector sweeps over any iron objects, it simply nulls out. It doesn't give me a signal, it just goes really quiet, letting me know that there's iron in the ground. For that reason, I don't dig any horseshoes. Good question though, thank you. And another Stephen O'Sullivan asks, do you have to split your treasure with the poor farmer whose land you found it on? Well, Stephen, generally yes. If you find anything of any significant value, then you are duty bound to let the farmer know, and it is up to the farmer whether or not he wants to stake a claim on whatever it is you found. Usually you would split the proceeds of anything valuable 50-50 between you and the farmer. So don't worry, the poor farmer doesn't miss out, and I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much for watching this week. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to my channel, please do consider subscribing. I really do appreciate your support. Today's Wednesday, so this is Waffle on a Wednesday. Waffle with rum and rain.
Waffle with a Wednesday.
Hello and welcome back to another video. Today's Wednesday, so this is Waffle on a Wednesday. And this week it's Waffles with Rum and Raisin Ice Cream Wednesday.
Oh!
Lost it. Do it again then.
When I go up, you do that and then go back down and take a mouthful and then look off into the distance.
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. We'll see you next week. Ta-ra for now.